It's been almost 365 days since I started streaming and I have not done a setup tour yet. So today is going to be the day where I do my first setup tour. This setup at the start of this year was basically nothing, and now it's a $7,500 setup. As you can see, there's a ton of different pieces that make up this whole setup, but the first place that I want to start is the Xbox Series X. So the Xbox Series X, I didn't actually start out with this. I started out playing on an Xbox One, which only allowed 60 frames per second, but I decided to upgrade to the Xbox Series X so that I could boost my frames per second to 120, and it's made a massive impact on my gameplay. After upgrading to the Xbox Series X, I decided to move over to a new controller, which is the Xbox Elite Series 2 controller. This thing is awesome because not only can you customize the thumbsticks and the D-pad on it, it's super cool, but it also allows you to put paddles on the back so you can do custom button mapping, as well as there's 3 different presets so that if you want to change the button mapping or just different settings per game, you could have like one setting for Fortnite, one setting for Call of Duty, and then one setting for another game if you wanted to. One thing you'll notice about this controller too is it is wired. I cannot stand having a wireless controller just because the latency is sometimes bad. The Xbox cost me around $450, and then the controller cost me about $130. After upgrading those 2 things, I moved on and I got the HyperX Cloud Alphas. I've really enjoyed having these headphones because they're super light. One other bonus of the HyperX Cloud Alphas is I hear the mic quality is actually pretty good. Even though I didn't choose it for this, it's just an added bonus. Now, when I first started streaming, there's one thing that I wanted to get, and that is a high quality mic. And so I ended up getting the Shure SM7B. This mic is awesome. It's dynamic. I got it for around $370, and I would say most content creators or streamers across the industry are using this mic. So my mic connects directly to this mount, which is just like a $20 mount I found off Amazon, but the cords go through under my desk and then it connects over here to my audio mixer. Now this audio mixer is the TC Helicon Go XLR Mini. It is super awesome. The TC Helicon Go XLR Mini isn't actually the audio mixer that I started out with. I started out with the Elgato Wave XLR. That was good, but it wasn't as good as the TC Helicon, and that's why I upgraded to it. There's a lot of reasons why I wanted to upgrade to this specific audio mixer, but the main reason is the ease of use while you're streaming. And so you can see here that you have a mic setting, a chat, a music, and a system setting. You can easily adjust these while you're streaming without even thinking about it, as well as you have these mute buttons down here. So if you say, oh, I want to mute my chat, or I want to mute my mic, or you want to mute my music, or whatever you want to do, it's super easy to adjust while you're streaming and you don't even have to really think about it. I think I got this for $180 or $190 on Amazon. As for my monitor, so this is the monitor that I used to play on, and it is a super good monitor. It's 27 inches. It's an LG Ultra Gear monitor. It's nothing super special. It does allow for up to 144 frames per second, which is what my Xbox allows me to do. And so that was a main concern when I was getting a monitor. But yeah, it's 27 inches. I know a lot of people like to play on 24 inches. I just like something a little bit bigger. But yeah, I mainly play Fortnite on here. I don't really play anything else, although I do have a couple other games on there. But 120 frames per second for Fortnite is super important, and so that's why I wanted that. As for my second monitor, it is another LG monitor. It's 27 inches. One of the main benefits of why I bought this is actually for the mount. The mount is super nice. So you can see here it connects to the base of my desk, and then there's an arm here which goes to my gaming monitor, and then there's another arm over there which goes to the other monitor, my streaming monitor. And so when I actually bought this, it came with the mount, it came with this monitor, and then it came with another LG monitor, both of them 27 inches. I was using those as my gaming monitors, but it only allowed for I think 70-ish frames per second, and so that's why I upgraded to this one. Currently I have this set up as a vertical layout. I would like to get another mount that I could maybe place on top of this one, but I just don't have another mount here, so that's why I'm using it for vertical. But if I do get another mount, I'll probably switch this back to horizontal, and then I'll put another monitor on top of it. Now as for my lighting, I have a ring light over here, and then I also have the LG Litra. This thing is super cool because what you can do is you can customize it on your PC to boot up and light up at a specific brightness or at a specific tone every time you launch Fortnite. Now I don't play Fortnite on this PC, and so it doesn't actually work like that, but if you do play PC, I would 100% recommend getting something like this so that you can just customize the settings and make sure that it boots up the same every time you launch Fortnite. So when it's all said and done, this LG Litra is about $40 to $50, I think. The ring light is just like 25 bucks. It's not as good as the LG Litra, but it does get the job done. And then I have this monitor, the other monitor, and the mount all came for about $270. Now as for the camera, I have the Sony Alpha A6500 mirrorless digital camera. This thing is awesome. It has a 30mm lens. The tripod is just something that I found off Amazon. It's nothing special, but this thing is super awesome. I didn't always have this. I started out with the webcam with the Logitech Brio, but as you can see here, So we have the camera, and then there's a cord that goes down off to the right side. That cord connects to what's called the Elgato Cam Link. And so basically what happens is it needs a way to transfer the image over to a PC or like a streaming PC, because it just doesn't have that capabilities on its own like a webcam does, because this camera isn't actually built for that. And then there's a cord down below on the left side. This is actually the power supply. So you can't actually just like charge it the whole time as you're using it. It has to have a consistent power supply that's going into the camera. And so this actually goes down and just plugs into an outlet here to ensure that it always has power as I'm streaming and using it as a webcam. One thing I will mention is the cord management is absolutely terrible, but that's just because I have so many cords. I have about 2 or 3 cords coming out of that camera. I have another, as you can see, this is the Xbox. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 cords coming out of that. We have 3 more cords coming out of this monitor, another 3 over there. We have a cord coming off that light, a cord coming off this light. So we just have so many different cords coming out of every single possible thing. We also have this keyboard too. I'm just a big fan of those wires just so there's no latency. And as you can see here, we have hardwired the Xbox and the streaming PC just to ensure that we have the best Wi-Fi possible as we're playing. Now, if we take a step back here, so this is the whole desk. Obviously, we've seen this before. I think it's 50 inches or so wide. I can't exactly remember the specific measurements, but the most important thing when I was getting this desk is I wanted it to be deep. And as you can see here, it looks pretty deep, and that's because it is. I think it's, let me get a better angle here. I think it's deeper than most desks. I think it's 30 or 35 inches deep, maybe even 40. I'm not sure. I think it's around 35 though. But the reason I wanted it so deep is because I knew I'd have the Xbox. I knew I'd have headphones. I knew I'd have 2 monitors, the audio mixer, the camera, the mic, all these different things. And so I knew I had to have a deeper desk than usual. I think I ended up purchasing this desk off of Wayfair, which is about $200 to $250. The sad thing about all this cord management is I think I've probably, if I were to guess, have spent probably $100 on cords, Ethernet cords, HDMI cords, USB to USB-Cs. I mean, there's so many different cords here, but I've probably spent somewhere around $100 on this. Now, as for my chair, I have the Secret Labs Titan Evo chair. This is one of the best gaming chairs in the entire business. I think I got this for around $560. This thing is super, super nice. Obviously, you can see this pillow right here. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of pillows, but this pillow is extremely comfortable. So I really like that one. There's some great lumbar support. You can see here, there's a little like twisting wheel that you can twist for more lumbar support or less. And then obviously these are customizable. You can pull them forward, pull them back. I think you can even, I don't even know, I haven't even used this much, but I think you can move it side to side. Yep, there you go. And of course, up and down. And then if you want to, you can get a different skin for this. So there's Fortnite skins. There's like a peely one. There's a couple other ones. And then you can also adjust these armrests too. I think they're magnetic. Yeah, they come off. So you can customize their armrest too. So super nice chair. Okay, probably the moment you've all been waiting for is the streaming PC. This thing is custom built and it is awesome. I love it. I love the colors on it, but probably my favorite thing about this thing is the fact that it says the temperature on the outside of the case of the GPU and the CPU. It's super nice. So as I'm streaming, I can just peek down, check the temps of my GPU and CPU, make sure everything looks good. This thing was custom made. Like I said, I had a buddy help me make this. It's a Gigabyte Radeon RX 7800 XT and then the Intel Core i5 12600 KF. And so after getting everything that I needed for this, I spent around $1,600 on it, but then I realized I had to get the internal capture card from Elgato, which put another $250 on it. So all in all, I ended up spending pretty close to $1,900 on this streaming PC. A little excessive. I would say it was 100% worth it for me because I streamed to Twitch and TikTok at the same time. And so I needed something that could handle both of those things. Okay, last but not least, my background. This is probably my most favorite part and the part that took the longest amount of time to put together, obviously. You can see we have Lego sets here. So we have our first one, which is the Hogwarts Castle. This is the most expensive Harry Potter set that Lego sells. I think it's around $470 pre-tax, but as you can see, there are a ton of pieces. I think it was somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 pieces. And it took us about 18 hours to put this thing together. It took a long time, but loved every second of it. We have Hedwig, Hermione, Harry, Ron, Voldemort, Draco, Dobby, Sirius, Dumbledore, Snape, and then Bellatrix. And then we also have back here is Hagrid's hut. So it took a long time to put this together, but between the lights, which were $5, the background, which was $20, the Lego set, which was $470, and then each one of those Funko Pops was about $10, and we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 Funko Pops there, which is another 110 bucks. I mean, this specific quadrant of the background was a lot of money, but it was super fun to put together. Okay, so the next one is the Eye of Sauron, of course, Lord of the Rings right here. This is probably my favorite. I mean, this thing is massive. If you can't tell, these Funko Pops are about 4 inches tall. And so this tower right here, if I can back up and get the whole view, this tower is 3 feet tall. It is massive. It's huge. This also took about 18 hours to build. A couple cool things about this is this is the Eye of Sauron. It actually lights up. There's a button back there. And then there's actually a little rock right here where I'll see if I can do it, where if you turn this, the gates of the, yeah, you can see there, the gates start to open up and you can see inside of it. So it's pretty cool. We have a couple other Funko Pops here. Obviously you can see Sauron's right there, Frodo, Sam, Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas got tipped over, and then Gimli. But this tower was about $500. The background, another 20 bucks. The lights were $5. And then again, each of those Funko Pops were about 10 bucks. And we have 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. So another $70 there. The third quadrant is a Fortnite quadrant. So we do have the battle bus here. This is actually a newer Lego set. It's really cool. It's about 100 bucks, I think. But if you see in there, you can see that we have all these different Fortnite skins, Cuddle Team Leader. I think Peely's in there too. A bunch of fun skins. So super fun build there. It only took about 2 or 3 hours, I think. Not nearly as the castle or the Lord of the Rings Barad-dûr, but definitely super fun. As you can see here, we have 5 Funko Pops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 on top of the battle bus. These are actually custom Funko Pops of some of my most loyal viewers on Twitch and TikTok. And so I give my viewers the opportunity to get a custom Funko Pop on this wall, paid for by me. And so it's super fun to give them the opportunity to get on the wall, which is super cool. And then this right here, this is my newborn baby. We call him Baby Flowz. And so he also made an appearance. He was gifted to the stream by one of our viewers here. So it's super fun to have him on top of the battle bus. Okay, and then our last section is the Marvel section here. So this is one of my favorites too. You can see we have the Star-Lord helmet, we have the Iron Man helmet, we have the Spider-Man helmet, and the Venom helmet. These ones were super hard to get because the Star-Lord helmet and the Spider-Man helmet, they actually, they sell those just on Lego.com, of course. But the Iron Man helmet and the Venom helmet, those ones are actually discontinued. Lego no longer sells those. And so I had to go and find these on Amazon or just like a reseller. And so they definitely cost a lot more. The Star-Lord helmet and the Spider-Man helmet were about $60 or $70 a piece. This Iron Man helmet, I think it goes for around $200 on eBay, and the Venom one goes for about 150 bucks, give or take. We then have Black Widow, Captain America, Thanos, Thor, and Black Panther as our Funko Pops, and those are 10 bucks a piece too. You can see how big Thanos is compared to like Thor or Captain America. He's got like, I think like basically an inch or two higher than those two. I guess all the other Funko Pops, which is cool. One trend you'll see across all 3 of these different sections is there's a bunch of names in front of each of these Funko Pops. These are the names of some of my viewers. We did this huge reveal where all these Funko Pops could be purchased by viewers. And so if you want an opportunity to maybe purchase one of these in the future and get your name on the wall behind me, pop into my streams, ask me, and we'll talk about how we can get that done. So that's a pretty quick rundown of the background and all the technology that I use during my streams. Overall, it's about $7,500 for the background and all that technology. It's a ton of stuff. It's nothing that I had before at the start of 2024, but I look forward to continuing to upgrade all these different things in the background and the technology to enhance the stream and make it a whole lot better.